I mean, we're going full Taylor Swift right now. When you first start touring, it's kind of like tough. With every show, it just kind of it starts getting better and better. And the material, you start kind of writing more and you get into this fun, like groove. I really just like making people laugh. I like entertaining people, just giving them a break and like helping them laugh at themselves.
This is the Mentors Moguls Podcast with Heather R. Stone. Welcome to the Mentors Moguls Podcast. I'm your host, Heather Stone. Not sure about my title after this official interview here with comedian, actress, and all-around girl of everything, Becky Robinson. Welcome, Becky.
Oh my God. Oh, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I have to say that I did not know who you were until I was sitting in my lovely hairdresser's chair. And he says to me, "Are you going to the show this weekend?" And I said, "Show? What show?" And he said, "There's this hilarious comedian that's coming to town, the town of Aspen, and you've got to go see her if you just want to break and have a good time." So I looked up a couple things on YouTube. I was crying within 3 minutes and I instantly bought like 5 tickets and invited all the girls I knew. I drugged my husband there. I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Oh,
He's an avid golfer.
Yeah.
I had hilarious. So welcome and thank you. So have you always known that you were funny? Are you the funny one in the family, or did this just like get born out of sheer boredom?
I would say my parents are definitely insane. Wait, was this the Aspen? Was this the like my last show of the year last year?
Yes.
Like
it was hilarious.
That was the best time. What a lot more husbands have been coming to the shows, and it always I usually try and like roast them or get them on stage and make them uncomfortable in any way I can.
You did.
Sometimes they show up drunker than the girls, which is funny because they always do something ridiculous that they think is going to be hilarious, and it always, it's easy content for me. But yeah, family wise, my whole family's pretty funny. They kind of like always just find a way to like laugh when things are tough, like not right in the moment, but like shortly after. Like turning everything into something funny was like kind of just our coping mechanism as a family. And my dad's really funny, he tells really funny stories, but my mom is kind of like quick-witted and like, with the jabs. And I would say my sister's probably the funniest one in the family, but she's kind of shy. So being the youngest, she would kind of like say everything to me and then I would say it out loud because I, wanted all the attention.
So you like that.
Yeah.
So you've been a writer, you do a lot of voiceovers, you've had some specials, you've got quite a resume. So let's talk about your characters, because you've got many characters that show up on stage, none of which I was ready for, and each one got better and better. So, but your physical comedy cracks me up. I mean, are you exhausted after your shows?
I am. Yeah, it's I definitely I've been an athlete kind of my whole life. So it feels, if I don't finish a show sweating, it feels odd,
Yes.
I really like to put my whole body into it. And like it's kind of the same thing with characters. It's like I can say this in like a one-liner, or I can like bring it to life. I can show you, I can do the voice, I can do like the physical part of it. And that always for me feels like it would trump anything that I could write. Like it would be better than anything that I could ever write. I just like to move around to them. I have trouble, sitting still. And it's a lot. I definitely am like exhausted, but I've been working out with a trainer and like, always trying to like get stronger. But my rider is like Celsius, Diet Coke, and like nicotine pouches. It's a lot of caffeine. But when I'm touring, I try to sleep in on the days that we have shows that night, or especially if we have multiple. So I make up for it. My girlfriend, I get home and it took her a long time to realize that it really takes me a while to recover. Like I need like kind of 24 hours to like just not talk to anyone.
I'm sure.
it's like you're traveling so much and you're meeting so many new people every day and it's so fun. Like it's before the show, you do the show, and then it's like these really fun, rowdy meet and greets. And I get home and I'm like, I need silence for 24 hours and then I'll be a person again. So, but I have a lot of energy to begin with. So it's good that this is a way to channel it.
It shows up on stage for sure. I mean, you're jumping all around, you're dancing. I mean, this is not, you don't sit still.
No, yeah, I like to move. And I just also feel like, I don't know, for some reason I feel maybe it's just because I have a short attention span. I just want people to also enjoy watching it and to like be an entertaining performer. And to me, that's like adding a level of or a layer of physicality of like they need some flair, they need some Cirque du Soleil, they need something, otherwise they're going to tune out, you know?
Yeah.
So
no, you're one
wigs and everything.
The wigs are fantastic. So who picks the wigs out? Is that you? You just decide you like something? Do friends say, I found something, it's very you?
I was gifted a wig once for like Christmas that we had some fun with. My family gave it to me. But I shop for wigs all the time. I have a wild collection, probably like 150.
Oh.
And it usually kind of starts with a voice. A voice will happen. And I think that's kind of how it started with Entitled. And then I had been doing the voice for a while with her. And then it wasn't until the pandemic that I had stumbled across this little blonde, silky wig that was kind of just perfect, you know, just went under the visor perfectly, kind of like a little just cherub. I don't know, just it looked like a little, like a blooming onion. And and that's when the character kind of comes together. So I try them on a lot. I have like this one wig shop that I go to in the middle of LA with like this adorable little Asian couple, and they'll sit me down and they like style it for me. And so
that's perfect. Yes. Well, okay. So the Entitled Housewife, I mean, the whole thing is absolutely hilarious. I have a new character for you to maybe consider. The other side of it is a golf widow. The woman who's always at home because her husband is always golfing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's my mom. That's
okay.
Well, he's not dead. My dad's not dead.
But I mean, he might as well be because she's always alone. He's on the golf course, married to the golf course.
Oh, married. It is his life. I mean, and multiple times a day too. And she's like,
really?
he can't get enough. And then he'll come home and he'll put it on the TV. And she's like, can't we watch something else for once? Like she's just, and he always wants her to come up to the club and hang out, but she's kind of like, yeah, no, I'm good. You know?
That's very funny. So during the pandemic, you kind of started this character, or you embellished this character. I'm not sure what the right wording is. You were up there in Portland, am I understanding, with your parents? And then was your mom, did I hear that your mom and dad were nervous because you were shouting out the country club name and they thought they'd feel repercussions from that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was like home for a while. I was like trying characters, but I was like, these are all so awful. And I just felt really uninspired. And then I kind of went over to my parents, and dad was golfing nonstop. My mom was kind of just like bitching about having to stay home. And that's when like I really got close to losing my marbles, but then the character I just brought it to life and kind of laughed myself out of that darkness on the day that I birthed that character. And they were pissed at first. They were like, they're kind of like mad at everything until someone else tells them it's okay. Like until they took like, I don't know, 8 years in of doing stand-up before their friends were like, hey, your daughter's funny, for them to be like, oh, okay, she's funny. I'm like, guys, can you not just believe in me from the jump here? Like, what the fuck? So they were pissed. They were like, he's gonna get kicked out of his club for this. This is like, you know, they always are like, it's the vulgarity, and it's just they take me speaking honestly and like they call it, you know, vulgar as like, it's just not funny. And I'm like, guys, this is the way you talk when you're pissed. So that's I'm like, you don't even realize, like, when they say, like, when my mom gets pissed and like the F-bombs roll out, it packs such a punch. And that's what comes through with Entitled. And I think, I don't know if they saw that right away, but now they like it. My dad like brags about it. My mom, I guess, finds it funny. I don't know. But
You're absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. Everyone that I've told, I said, just watch one of her YouTube clips and everyone just started thinking, who is she? I want to, where's she touring? You're
Oh
touring
my
all
God.
over the place. All
It's
over the
been
place.
all over. It's been nonstop. Yeah, my manager does not sleep. He's just like, go, 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 more shows, more shows. And we're booking out 2024. And it's been, I feel like I got lucky. Like I have the people that come to my shows are there. I mean, like you're just like the greatest person ever. They're so fun. They're just like, they just want to laugh and have a good time and like laugh at themselves too, which is a big thing. I've realized that like not everyone can do that. And I've had characters in the past that like, I was doing this kind of like really introverted, like tech kid that was based off somebody that I kind of did meet. And like that one just, I don't know, those types of people, like they don't really want to laugh at themselves or they take themselves too seriously. And so I don't know, but I think it's such a special trait when people are able to laugh at like the ridiculousness of their own lives. And that's, I never like to do anything mean spirited. Like we're all,
Yeah.
we've all got shit going on. We've all got tough things happening in life. And like nothing ever comes from like a place of, I don't know, yeah, anger or
Right.
meanness. It's just more of like, let's celebrate how insane like life is. And yeah, it's just the shows. I just keep meeting more and more people who are it's like, I don't know if they golf or they like pickleball or they're just, they want to scream at their kids, whatever. They're the best. And they show me so much love that I'm like, even though I'm not home very often, I feel it's like a lot of love. It sounds so cheesy, but I don't know. It's nice. It's like this big, really supportive family. And that's, I think, kind of hard to come by in comedy. A lot of people are like, they want to rip you to shreds and the comments can be like terrible. And I don't get a lot of those yet. So
You don't. Well,
nice.
I mean, you're very self-deprecating. And then every
Yeah.
single woman, whatever their age is in the audience, I just watched the audience. I was sitting up in the balcony and I was watching the whole audience. And you definitely have like a cult fan club going. There's no doubt about it. I am now part of that cult. But
Hell yes.
you,
Welcome.
yeah, thank you. But you definitely say things that everybody can relate to, or they've got a best friend, or they know somebody that is like that. Okay, I have to ask you, how did you come up with the names of the kids? There's Scott. Okay, I get Scott. How did you come up with the names of the kids?
So it was all on that first day, that very first day that I like was peak pissed off at my parents, like for being like, golf is all we have. And like, I want to go to the thirsty line with the girls. I was like, you guys are insane. I was really depressed and like, I don't know, something happened that day that like, I don't even know if I can explain. I've never like felt like a different person so much, like really in the character as I did that very first day. And people are always like, yeah, how'd you come up with it? The whole world came out on that very first day. It was like Trish, Dashiell, Maccabee, Scott. I got in my dad's car and I improvised for probably 5 hours and everything came out that day. The kids' names, the country, like the snacks, the brunchin, like all sorts of work, the girls, like everything. I just kind of it was almost like I blacked out. I was sober, but like, I don't know. I just became a different person that day and the world was built that day. I did have a boss named Dashiell back in the day. And I always felt like that's kind of a funny, like, not hoity toity, but like,
It's a perfect
okay,
name.
you're wealthy,
Yes.
you're wealthy and you might be a little shit.
Okay.
And Maccabee, I mean, I have no idea where that came out of. I
Hilarious.
just improvised, but it made me laugh in the moment. And that's always like, comedians, for the most part, we have many days where we hate ourselves. And that's kind of the process of like looking inward and then you have a day where you're able to laugh at stuff and turn it into something funny. And then, that's kind of the cycle of it. And on that day, I was laughing so hard that I was like, God, even if no one thinks it's funny, I kind of thought it was funny. So let's go with it.
Very funny. Well, I'm actually having a girls' weekend. I'm not in my studio this week. I'm having a girls' weekend with 6
Right now?
Right now. Right now. They're
Oh my
all in the
God.
living room. They wanted to listen in. I said, no, you can't. Like,
Wait,
you'll
so
make me laugh
where
the
are
whole
you?
time.
Where are you at right now? You look like you're on a lake.
I'm at a lake house. So I'm at a lake house for a couple of days. It's raining today, but we were out, on the water till late last night. I think we went to bed at like 1:30 in the morning. The wine came out. So
Oh yeah.
this is all that's left from, the storage going on there. And yeah, everyone's cutting loose, having a really good time. And
Fun. It's my dad's 70th birthday this week, and we're all going on a family trip up to Sandpoint, Idaho. It's like a lake. It's like
yeah.
30 minutes north of Coeur d'Alene, Lake Pend Oreille, and whole family's going. The wig's coming, so I'm sure a lot of inspo is going to come out of that.
Oh my gosh. Are you going to send anything out for all of us to see, or are you going to keep it to the family?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it'll be hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna be filming probably nonstop.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So question for you. So being in Aspen, you like to snowboard, you like to come up to Aspen. Hopefully you'll come back there and do another show this season.
Yes. We're working on it right now. Yeah. Okay. I grew up skiing and then kind of switched over to snowboarding and used to compete for a few years. But I love doing both.
Oh, good for you. Okay. So you came out, which I was not ready for Susie Chapstick. And I about fell out of my chair when you came out with that character. So how did that come out? And do you like doing that one?
Oh God, Susie was kind of my main character pre-entitled. I used to headline as Susie. I would do an hour and a half as like just Susie Chapstick.
Oh gosh.
I think sometimes I would do characters if I'm too nervous to say bits as myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll like the veil of the character helps me say things a little more like in your face or just a little more like confidently.
Right.
And Susie was kind of that for a while. We had gone to ski bowl up in Oregon and put the wig on, put the outfit on, and I started kind of moguling to Def Leppard. And she just with a couple hair flips, it was just like I've met so many people at like, in Sun Valley or in Aspen that are just like they're so rich and they're at the bar at like there's like this kind of braggy attitude. They'll be at the bar at 9 a.m. and they're like, yeah. Oh, I already got 8 runs in. Yeah, no. So I'm doing my little après cocktail. Oh, you're just putting your boots on? Great. Welcome. Like people, my dad's kind of like, it's honestly a lot from my parents. Like he's just, even if he did 2 runs, he'll say it's like 10. And it's like, Dad, no, you didn't. You're slow as fuck. Like, so it's kind of based off that character that you meet at like the lodge bar that like never actually goes skiing and just kind of drinks all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like maybe was a legend back in her day because Susie Chapstick was like a real person.
Way back when.
I don't know if you, like the ballet skiing. So, Susie was a fun one for a while. I stopped doing her because her outfits are all like very vintage. They're from like the 70s and 80s. They're from this brand called like Paris ski suits. And I can't zip them at this given time because I've put on a little weight. So hopefully she can make a return at some point. But I think I've got the biggest size of the onesies and they don't currently zip. They were tight in Aspen last year. I remember I was like dieting before the show so I could get it zipped up. But yeah.
That's funny. Do you like being on the road? You've done voiceover work, you've done specials, you have a special coming up. Do you have a special coming up? Did I hear a rumor of that?
Yes. I can't say much, but it'll be like a multi-piece special coming out. I guess that's kind of all I can say, but it's going to be a kind of a different take on a special. So I'm very excited.
All right. Well, we'll all stay tuned for that. Yes. What's your favorite? What was your goal? Were you always looking at doing stand-up? Did it just catch fire and this is where you're going with it now? Because I know you can write, you can do so many things. What's your favorite thing to do?
I kind of just am very like, if someone's not giving it to you, like go get it yourself. Like, I don't like being told no. I went to business school and, I just kind of like, I like doing a lot of things myself. And, I've spent so many years auditioning and, sometimes good things come of that. But like when you don't start booking roles, it's like, okay, what can I do right now? And stand up was that thing. It was like, okay, even if I do a bunch of auditions in a day, I can still get up at night and perform and like do some of this character work on stage and like work on the craft. And then I just kind of started doing character stuff in videos on YouTube because I, wasn't getting cast and things other than for voiceover to play little boys. So I was just like, I'll just make my own stuff and like hire my own videographers. And I didn't really, expect some of these characters to take off as much as they had, but now it's just kind of like, just writing my own things. I always really looked up to Adam Sandler and Sacha Baron Cohen and you know, it was always kind of like, I want to do that level of characters and that level of man on street. Because I didn't grow up really seeing a lot of women doing it. You know, we had like Tracy Ullman and stuff, but I just feel like women are able to, like, we can transform in a way that is so unique just because we know how to do makeup, we know how to do hair, like clothes, we can style, you know, and I mean, guys can too, but we can also, with like the man on street stuff, like we can break into a lot of places where people would be like unassuming that we might be up to no good. So
you can fly under the radar a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I just kind of, anytime I see something that I'm like, that's kind of not quite right, I like to kind of play with it and play in that world. And yeah, so we're working on an entitled movie. We were working on a Susie movie for a while, and that might happen once I kind of like get one under my belt. It's just that first one, it's a big undertaking, you know, to like come up with that first like script, especially because the entitled fans are like, it's got to be great, you know, it's got to be like as funny as, you know, as funny as can be in the casting and everything. And but I've had a lot of, it's been fun. I have like Chris Pratt DM'd me and was like, I want to play Scott. I gotta play your husband if you're making this movie. And so that's been fun. Some actresses have been like, dude, I want to be in this movie if you're making it. So that's kind of fun when like people in the industry are like, I'm down. This is funny. This is a fun world to like play in, because we all know someone that's, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody that's like that. Yes.
Yeah. But the touring it's been really fun. I really just like making people laugh. I like entertaining people, just giving them a break and like helping them laugh at themselves. And if we can turn some of these into movies and maybe some shows like that, that's the ultimate goal, I think.
So you're booked through part of 2024 already?
Yeah.
Okay. So when is, I mean, I know you've got break time, but still you're talking to me. So thank you very much. You've got a little bit of a break, but when do you say, okay, enough? Or are you going to ride this wave until the wave is gone?
I mean, we're going full Taylor Swift right now. It's kind of like, for a while, like when you first start touring, it's kind of like tough going like the back and forth of like, you get comfortable being home and then you're like, got to go back out again. But I'm kind of at a place where it's like, with every show, it just kind of it starts getting better and better. And the material, you start kind of writing more and you get into this kind of fun, like groove where you're just, if some sort of sports meme or metaphor would go right here, but like you're sinking it, you know, you're sinking those putts and it's feeling good. And it is a lot like golf, you know, it's like if you take some time off, like you lose it a little bit and you lose your quickness. And so we're kind of we're going international a lot more next year. And the thing that's been fun is we've gone back to like Phoenix and some of these markets. And I'll say like, how many people have been to a show before? And it's only a couple people raise their hands. So it's a lot of new people coming. So that's fun. So I think I'm going to kind of keep going until the material is in like such a good place that I'm like, can shoot the pieces of this special kind of in my sleep. Right. You know, like it's so dialed. I know all the shots I want. It's ready to go. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to go through 2024. I have like a few weeks off here and there. And then I always like, you know, I make time to ski and stuff like that.
Good.
And, you know, I book like the winter dates in ski towns and like.
Smart. That's good.
So we got to have a little fun in there with the girls, you know. Are you going to be in Aspen this year? Do you go every year?
I have a house there. So I am there.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
So anytime you're in town, you ring me up. I'll hook you up. And
done.
I won't be at the bar at 9 in the morning saying I have 10 runs. I will be on the mountain. But I might tell you the runs were black when they were really blue.
Oh, that's fine. No, I mean, the little white light here and there, that's fine. You know,
I would.
In Aspen, you hit some sheet ice. It's basically a double black diamond. Well, we have to ski this year then. That's definite.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, okay then. So you're going nonstop. You're very engaging. You're very funny, but you are very young in your career. In other words, the sky is the limit for you. If you could dream your biggest dream, where would you see yourself in like 10 years? Do you have a North Star? You're just going to ride it and say, I don't know where it's going, but this is great. I'm just going to keep going.
That is honestly so nice to hear someone say I'm young in my career, because
you are.
I know you're not supposed to do this, but like, you know, you compare yourself sometimes to people that are younger that like And you're like, I'm old, but so thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you're not. You're just getting going. You're just getting really good. Yeah.
I think it's I'm feeling right now like I had so many years on tour when I didn't feel ready to tour yet.
Hmm.
And I felt so bad about what I was doing on stage. I was like, this can't be like, it's just not my best foot forward. And it's been so nice to not feel like that for a couple years and to really feel like, hell yes, like this is my show. Like these people are here to see me. And I feel confident that I can like knock it out of the park and give them a great fucking night.
Yeah.
And now that I'm kind of in that place, it feels so good that I just want to keep going, just kind of like more of everything. And I think, I get really inspired by people I meet out in the open. And with all this travel, you meet a lot of funny characters. And I just want to keep honing my accents, honing these, like, especially the more we travel, like internationally. Um, and just, yeah, making characters along the way that people relate to and find funny. And then, yeah, hopefully turning them into some longer form stuff. And if no one wants it, I'll just keep putting it out myself. We have so
Yeah.
many outlets these days that it's like you kind of don't. And with the strike and everything, it's like, all right, what's going to happen? I don't know. But yeah, just kind of continuing to work with people that I love. And right now we've got a really good team. So it's all just like pretty positive, which
Well, that's great.
feels good. Yeah. We're just gonna keep rolling and try to keep being funny.
Well, so that's the difference though between when you were talking about, yeah, I feel like the youth part, like the younger ones comparing, the younger ones are
Yeah.
feeling how you used to feel, almost like imposter syndrome. Is this all there is?
Yeah.
Is this the best I can do? And now you're like, yeah, I hit that sweet spot. I own that stage. I own this audience. So that must be a
It's
really
an
good feeling.
It's such an interesting ride because it's like there's so many, you get it's kind of like levels, like you're a gymnast or something, it's like you get to a new level and you're like, shit, do I deserve to be competing at this level? Do I have these tricks? Like, I don't know. And I remember I got asked on a panel recently, like, when was the last time I felt imposter syndrome? And it was so nice to say I hadn't felt it in a while, but then I remembered it was probably like a year or so ago, I got asked to perform at this like really fancy golf club.
Mm.
And they were like, I saw I got the message from my manager and he was like, yeah, so it's going to be like 500 people. The last 2 summers they had Dirk Bentley and then they had Tim McGraw. And for some reason, I just immediately burst into tears and I was like, why do they want me? Like, it's going to be the worst. They're going to want Tim McGraw. Like, they're going to have Entitled? Like, what do I have to offer? And so there's little things like that here and there. But I think, as you go, you figure it out and, just going to try to do it with humility and, laugh at it after, I guess.
I think that's the best, one of your best qualities. You're very self-deprecating, but you're spot on
Yes.
in what everyone is thinking, but they don't want to say out loud, which is just hilarious.
Life's too embarrassing. There's
Yeah.
just too much shit that's like, I can't, yeah.
Yes. Now, do you think you're going to do you stay away from politics or will you go anywhere near this election stuff coming up? Or is that just too easy, low hanging fruit for you? Not your thing.
I don't know if it's too easy or too hard. I just like, I, people feel so strongly about that
Mhm.
I don't,
I want to stay away from it.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I can see that. It's very divisive, but some of the
it's,
characters are just like so primed, but I
I
understand what you're
know,
saying about the divisive part. Yeah.
I know some of them are very primed. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting mix because right now my show is like a very large, the majority of it is me. And so like the people that are currently coming to my show, it's like, it's a lot of, it's 90% like a crew of entitles, but then it's like also like there's a big like gay portion of people that I'm like,
Yeah.
if I lean into that, but I don't know. It's
Yeah. I hear you.
I
Stay
sometimes
where
I'm
you
like,
are.
I
You're
don't know
happy.
if I'm smart enough to speak on it. I'm good right now. If there's something that I feel like I really need to say that's like so funny I can't not say it, then I will. But that really hasn't happened yet in regards to politics. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's my bar.
Yeah. Well, you've got enough great material. You have a great fan base. I'm helping to spread the word with you because, you know, You're just too
Thank you.
funny. I mean, your material is just so freaking funny. I couldn't.
Ugh.
I took my husband, and the funny thing
Yeah,
was, is
what did
that
he yeah,
I mean, he's very conservative. He's a
is he?
business guy, he's a golfer and all of that, but he loves to laugh. I wasn't sure. And when we got
Yeah.
there, he was crying from the first 5 minutes on. He was doubled over crying so hard. He thought you were your physical comedy. And he goes, she just doesn't stop. I mean, yeah. So, yes, yes,
That
everybody was
is
howling.
great to hear. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, because
across the board,
I
you're
always
funny.
wonder. Okay, good.
Yeah. You can't
Phew.
fake that. You're hilarious. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to tweak a thing from my standpoint. You're just absolutely
It's
hilarious.
it's really nice and special to hear that because I can assure you there were years that was not the case where people come and they'll be like, "Wow, that was trash." So, I mean,
I
back
don't
in the
think so
day when
now.
I'm when I'm younger, I'm like talking about dating apps and people are like, "What the hell is this?" But you put in
Yeah.
those 10, coming on 12 years and you figure it out, those 10,000 hours. Jesus.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, all right
Yeah.
then. So, you've got a tour that's ongoing, and so the Shigon tour,
Yes.
yes, which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
The
How did you
Shigon
come up
tour.
with Shigon?
Shigon. Shigon actually started with Susie. Susie
Really?
would say it kind of nonsense. It was kind of like her catchphrase on stage. And then after Entitled, like kind of was like workshop, and I was like heavy pour, Shigon tour. Like a couple names kind of came up that I was like, yeah, these kind of work for a tour. And there's a lot of like times where, tumbling out of the golf cart, it's like, she gone, she's drunk, she gone. It just worked for a lot of things. So I think we'll rebrand at some point. I can't just like continue on the She Gone tour forever. But yeah, we've got some really fun dates planned. We're playing the Wilbur March 2nd in Boston, and I'm really excited about that. And a big like Palm Desert show at Agua Caliente. So they're
Okay.
doing Entitled on like some billboards and stuff, which is just so perfect because you know how many golf courses are out there in the desert.
It's prime
So
territory.
oh, it's prime. Yeah. But
Yes.
we're noodling on some new tour ideas, and I'll have like a month off, and then we're shat back out on the road. So
Oh my gosh. Now, do you have a big crew that you tour with, or just a handful of people? Because that's quite a production that you've got going on there.
yeah, we've streamlined a lot of it. But I think we're coming up on like probably gonna need a tour bus soon. But we have like, yeah, a couple of videographers. I have an assistant. I have my manager and someone that works under him that travels with me to just kind of, yeah, keep everything afloat, make sure we're fed,
Yeah.
make sure the 1942's in the green room, just the little things,
Now, do you go out there? Do you go out there? Are you stone cold sober when you go out there? Or do you need to drink right along with it and enjoy it with the rest of the audience? Because half the audience has already partaking.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was just in Myrtle Beach a few nights ago, and I'm the most drunk I've maybe ever seen. But I
Oh,
guess that's Myrtle Beach for you.
hmm
I'm definitely my best sober. Sometimes I'll do like a cheers with the audience. Um, yeah, every now and then. If I'm like playing with stuff, or if it's a late show, I'll maybe have a couple. But I definitely am batting my best if I'm sober.
yeah.
But I do like to go dancing after,
Oh, you do. Okay.
especially in
Yes.
Aspen. I mean,
All right. Well, there's a couple club. There's a couple clubs. Just call me. I'll get you in. There's a couple clubs there. It's that's a crazy crowd, and in the wintertime, it's a crazy eclectic crowd that can be a
Oh my
lot of fun.
gosh,
It must be
so
fun for
fun.
you to write like good new material just to sit there and people watch, though.
Oh yeah, Aspen, I feel like a lot of new material came out of Aspen. Most nights I do, if I have a couple shows a night, I just sit in bed and eat Taco Bell. I'm pretty lame most of the time, but cities like Aspen, New York, I'm like, I can't not go out on the town. It's too fun.
Yeah.
And then I
Well,
don't know if it's the altitude or something, you just have that energy to wake up and go skiing. So
you do. Well, it's there, and if you like the snow, I mean, it's great skiing, it's great snowboarding, and it is a fun.
yeah.
There's a lot of higher energy going on there. No doubt
Yeah.
about it.
The mink coats, the money spilling around. I mean, after that show in Aspen, I think like 10 people must have bought me martinis. I also made the
That
mistake
you
of not
recall? Did you
until
recall?
until it fell, yeah, at the Caribou Club. It was like I didn't drink 2 months leading up to that Aspen show, which was a big mistake because then, of course, we're at altitude and it was the last show of the tour. And everyone's like, here's a martini. And we're dancing. And we went to some other club after that and we like got bottle service. For some reason, we ordered a bottle of tequila and we ordered a bottle of Chardonnay.
Ooh.
Which is so random for bottle service. But they they brought it out with the sparklers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I took one sip of it. And I looked at my assistant, Kaylin. I was like, Kaylin, I need a bucket.
Oh, no.
I turn around and just like
Lost
I
it.
projectiled.
It was too much.
She had handed me a shot glass. I'm like, why don't hand me the bottle service bucket, bitch? Like, what are we doing here? She handed me a shot glass. It was so bad. It was so I had to take myself home after that. But went in Aspen.
It happens.
So
it's all right. You just be like, oh, there's another one. There they go. No problem.
Yeah. I was like, I'll see myself out. Sorry if I got any on your mink coats, guys.
So you're going to go have fun with your dad's 70th, big family gathering?
Yes.
Small. Okay. All right.
Yeah. The fam, significant others, some kids, bringing the dogs. Yeah. Just gonna boat. And then I got him like some Steve-O merch made. This is him in his wrestling photo.
Hilarious.
So should be a good time.
You have a definite good time. Well, I'm going to follow you. Everyone else that is listening to this, go look up Becky Robinson, funniest gal on the planet. Go see one of her shows and bring a bunch of your besties and maybe someone you don't like because they'll become your bestie. They'll be laughing so hard together. That's actually a pretty good peace offering right there is come to the Becky show.
Absolutely. You bring them all. And thanks for spreading the good word.
Absolutely.
I need to get you a packet of merch. I'll get your address. We got to sync on Aspen. It's going to happen.
We'll definitely sync on Aspen. I'll meet you at the Caribou Club. We'll have a good time. I'll bring a bucket just in case, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Well, thank you for your time. And hopefully we'll see you back on stage very soon. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Mentors and Moguls Podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the incredible stories and wisdom shared by our esteemed guest. If you've enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review and share it with others that may benefit from the valuable insights shared here. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making your mark in the world.